I would like to acknowledge the country I have walked on and inhabited throughout my life, and I would like to pay my respects to all the elders and people past and present who shaped and respected this land before all others, and extend this respect to all future peoples of this land. I live in a place called the Shores in Helensvale, which is right on top of Coomera Lake. I always felt proud that the lake and surrounding bushlands are a part of the Coomera Conservation Area to help protect the natural and cultural heritage of these lands. I felt confident that First Australians were being recognised because signs are posted stating the protection and the prohibition of certain activities that will impact negatively on the environment. I always felt delight as a child every time I played and ran through the trees next to the lake because I felt I was following the footsteps of children who came many years before. But when I look around my neighbourhood now, even though I find peace in the fact that some of the bushland is untouched by modern day hand, it is obvious that the true culture of the First Australians is truly missed. I see street names that are derived from a First Peoples language, but am saddened by the realisation that the population of the area do not recognise this, and that it is just another unusual street name. I look at all the houses including my own, with the roads connecting them, and try to imagine what the lands looked like before it was developed for white man to live on. This land is now a busy suburban area that is continually being developed, leaving no room to build the recognition of the peoples who lived and hunted before white man came. Although my neighbourhood seems to be limited in the visibility of First Australians and their culture, as I step onto the grounds of the university I attend, it is notable that First Australians are no longer invisible. The university appears to have come a long way in paying recognition to the first peoples of this land since an agreement was formed with the Commonberry people. There are many services available to First Australians to help them succeed in their studies. The university also urges non-Indigenous students to partake in national days of recognition of First Australians and learn about a culture that is striving to not be lost. To be able to access the culture firsthand in a place I spend so much of my time has really opened my eyes to how little I have known about the First Australians. When I was a child living in New South Wales, I was taught about the Aboriginal people and their Dreamtime stories. I remember being taken to spend time with an Aboriginal family in poverty and taking toys for the children. At that time, I had a yearning to learn more about these people who were different to me, but with a shift in state and school, that all changed. I was now taught about the founding of Australia and how Captain James Cook was an explorer who made it possible for the English to peacefully settle on new lands. I became a person who believed what I was told and never questioned whether these stories were correct. After being taught this colonised history, I began to see First Australians as ungrateful people who always wanted something from the government. However, after learning the truth about the settlement and how it was an invasion of country already inhabited and that these people are still oppressed today, I began to realise that I had grown up with the privilege of skin colour and race. I began to understand that I had adopted the stereotypes that are easily believed by the undereducated. With this new knowledge, I became very angry with myself and the colonised system I live in. However, with more public acknowledgements about the truth of what has and is happening to Indigenous Australians, I am hopeful for a future filled with better outcomes for the future generations of these people.